shop, a block down the street from Jerry's bait shop. Back then, life was going swell and everything was just
Montenegro.
Except, of course, for the undeniable fact that every single morning, my mother would make me a big old bowl of sauerkraut. Yeah, thanks for every single morning. It was driving me crazy. I said to my mom, I said, "What's up with all the sauerkraut?" And my dear sweet mother, she leaned right down next to me, and she said, and then she tied me to the wall, stuck a funnel in my mouth, and force-fed me nothing but sauerkraut. That's when I swore that someday I would get out of that basement and travel to a magical, faraway place. Let me tell you people, it wasn't long at all before my dream came true, because the very next day, a local radio station had this contest.
4, 3, 2, 1, begin!
We all know 140 ratio, the famous hot dog eating contest. Billy just up the end of each stage. He's got way more than the same thing. Your choices, Texas, early in the match, so you're going to see back and forth in life. Just as times, usually standing for dinner, right up front. Yes.
12 victories in Coney Island, the champion of the world, Joey Utah!
I was off by 3, but I still won the grand prize. That's right, a first-class one-way ticket. You know, I'd never been on a real airplane before, and I gotta tell you, it was really great. Except that no time the plane exploded in a giant fireball and everybody died. Except for me. You know why? So I crawled from the twisted, burning wreckage. I crawled on my hands and knees for 3 full days, dragging along my big lead, my lucky autographed glow-in-the-dark snorkel. But finally I arrived at the world-famous Albuquerque Holiday Inn. When I checked into my room and I turned down the AC and I turned on the Spectrovision.
Dutch artist Joost Klein will now not perform.
No! Well, now who could that be? I say, who is it? No answer. Who is it? There's no answer. Who is it? They're not saying anything. So finally I go over and I open the door, and it's some big fat hermaphrodite with a flock of seagulls haircut and only one nostril. So anyway, he burst into my room and he gave me a colonic irrigation. Yes, indeed, you better believe it. And somehow in the middle of it all, the phone got knocked off the hook. And 20 seconds later, I heard a familiar voice. And you know what it said? I'll tell you what it said. It said, "We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. I've still commitments what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy." So I got in my car and I drove over to the donut shop and I walked on up to the guy behind the counter and he says, "Yeah, what do you want?"
You got any glazed donuts? We said, no, we're not glazed donuts. We said, you got any jelly donuts? We said, no, we're not jelly donuts. We said, blueberry and cream filled donuts? We said, no, we're not blueberry and cream filled donuts. We said, cinnamon rolls? We said, no, we're not cinnamon rolls. We said, apple fritter? We said, no, we're not apple fritters. We said, old fashioned? He said, no, old-fashioned. He said, maple bars. He said, no, maple bars. He said, French crawlers. He said, no, French crawlers. He said, blueberry donuts. He said, no, blueberry donuts. He said, strawberry donuts. He said, no, strawberry donuts. He said,
take that. So he hands me the box and I open up the lid. You know, I think it was just about that time that a little ditty started going through my head. I believe it went a little something like this. And as luck would have it, that's exactly when I ran into the girl of my dreams. Her name was Zelda. She said, "Hey, you got weasels on your face." That's when I knew it was true love. But then one fateful night, Zelda said to me, she said, "Sweetie Pumpkin, do you want to..." So we broke up, and things really started looking up for me because about a week later, I got me a part-time job at the Sizzler.
Taco inside a taco within a Taco Bell that's inside a KFC within a mall that's inside your brain.
Where was I? Kind of lost my train of... Well, okay, anyway, I know it's kind of a roundabout way of saying it, but I guess the whole point I'm trying to make here is...
America has a fat law crisis.
That's all I'm really trying to say. And by the way, there's still a little place called Albuquerque.